boy J. Lou, and you are just in time for something new. Alright, now in today's video, what I'm going to be doing is cutting my hair. Today officially makes 1 entire year of me not using Durags, right? I got rid of using brushes at the beginning of the year of 2020, but around this time period last year, that's when I stopped using Durags and everything like that. I'll make sure I link a video right above to where you can go back and watch and check it and everything. But this is 1 full year of not using Durags and just the progress that I made with my hair. I never did a haircut video during this process. So with that being said, what I wanted to do is just show you guys the progress as well as explain briefly the reason why I don't woof, right? People be talking about,
man, you not this or you not that until you go 6 to 8 weeks.
And a lot of you guys are wasting your time as well as progress by growing your hair out for a very long time period, and then you cut your hair, and then by the time you cut your hair, because you have not maintained anything underneath, and it just goes down to the simple principles. I made a video already. I'm not gonna go into the great detail. Truth about woofing. Make sure you watch that video if you want to learn more about the reason why I only go 4 to 5 weeks at max. The only time I'll go 5 weeks is if I just forget, you know. So with that being said, I'm about to show y'all what my waist looking like, so let's get it. All right, so this is my left side. I'll work myself towards the back. You can see I've been working on the swirl hive. What that basically means is it's a beehive with a swirled beehive look, you know, so it still has an open crown, but it swirls a little bit. The back is finally coming into play. It's been taking a long time because I used to have 720s. Like I told you guys on the last video, my right side is finally starting to come in from my crown. So the waves are starting to flow in that 360 look. But because my hair was so used to going 720s, that's why you guys see that drastic break right here. So this side it's taking time, but this is the top of how my hair looks. So my top and everything else looks legit, you know. So top flowing over to the left side, kind of going towards the back, and even my crown looks very good. The right side is just the only side that looks delayed, but I don't hold y'all up. I'm about to comb this out and then show y'all what it looked like. So in today's cut video, I'm using the Andes Masters. As you guys can see, these are the staples. I always use these bad boys. It's almost time for me to get some new clippers, but we're gonna see about that. The guard size that I'm using, as you guys can see, is a number 4 guard size. I'm going to be cutting against the grain that is equal to a 2 with the grain. By going 360s, it allows me to be able to cut my hair a lot lower. When I used to have 720s, I used to only can cut a 5 against the grain, which was equal to a 2.5 with the grain. You know, when you have your wave pattern that conflicts with your hair growth pattern, you have to cut your hair at higher lengths on different sides. But because 360s naturally follows my natural hair growth pattern, I can cut against the grain at a smaller level and still maintain the look of my waves. So that's one thing that you guys may need to keep in mind whenever you guys are getting your haircuts and you keep asking me,
hey, J. Lou, what's the best guard size?
if you have anything of 540s and above, like 540s, 720s, or hybrid, anything like that, you may have to cut your hair a little bit higher because your hair is going not in a natural state. But if you have like 360s and below, or hell, some people even with 540s, they could probably get away with cutting lower rather than 720s. But you only know that if you've had all patterns, you know. So because I've had every single pattern, the advice that I'm telling you guys, I know for a fact that it works. So with that being said, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the cut. Now with the cut, you want to make sure that the lever is pushed all the way front. That means that the guard is closed. If you push it all the way like this, that means it's open. That's a full guard size. So this makes it a 5 against the grain. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close it all the way like that and get into the cut. All right, now I'm gonna use the truth comb to just basically lay my hair back down. Alright, so if you guys aren't new to my channel, y'all already know I typically go over my hair twice, but I'm not going to show that on cam. But this is how my left side looks after the cut. Like I said, man, not using a durag for an entire year, I've been able to get a very dope looking pattern. And as of right now, it's been ever since the beginning of January, I haven't been using a brush. So, what's that, 10 months? 10 months of not using a brush, only using a comb. A whole year of not using a durag. I would say the progress is pretty dope. Now on this side, I was not surprised whenever I cut my hair down, because in the past, if you guys are familiar with the channel, when I'm talking about hair growth patterns, because my hair was so used to going down in this direction, and because I'm changing my angles and really just trying to force my hair to go in that 360 look, my hair is confused right here. So whenever it comes to cutting it against the grain, sometimes what may happen is it'll cut it out and make it seem like you don't have waves. But really, there's just, my hair is in a confused state right here. You know what I'm saying? Because it was so used to going in a 720 look like this. And now I'm trying to force it back to go to the natural, normal look of the 360s. You know, so I'm not sweating that. I had videos back when I had 720s of different sides. My left side used to look like that because my left side was going against the natural growth pattern, you know. So but when it comes to the back, one thing I want to say about the crown is with the crown, you don't have to worry about cutting it at half guard size higher, especially if you have 360s. Now if it comes to having a swirl, you may have to worry about that, but when it comes to having 360s, as long as you cut against the grain, you can cut your hair all at the same even length and it'll keep your crown even, you know what I'm saying? And then, like I told you guys before, the rings are starting to form on the outside of my crown. So the more I keep working, eventually this stuff will line up. And you can see it's trying to line up right now to where it'll be 360s. But that swirl that I used to have from the 720, that hardcore slant in the back, is still trying to maintain some definition in my hair. You know, so the closer you get to the crown, like I always say, focus on your crown and go out. The rings forming around my crown is what I'm really trying to focus on, make sure that they're forming right, because everything else will eventually follow. And it's like if you throw a pebble into the water, the waves and the ripples start from right here and then they go out, you know. So as long as they go out evenly from the crown, the rest of your hair will follow, the rest of your waves will follow, and your pattern will eventually come along, you know. So I don't worry too much about waves when they get in the middle portion of my head because they're just gonna get pushed out, you know. So that being said, that's just the first look. I'm gonna go through, do the edge up and the taper, and then come back and show you guys what my hair looks like.